Perfect bodies don't build themselves. That's what I always tell my followers. But today, staring at my phone screen, I realize perfect lives don't either. 300,000 people watch my daily fitness streams, but none of them can see how my hands are shaking. I'm Skylar, and 5 minutes before my scheduled live workout, I'm frozen in my home studio, watching a video that's turning my world inside out. Dylan, my husband of 7 years, is at some outdoor concert I've never heard of, his hands tangled in another woman's hair, kissing her like he used to kiss me. "Mommy, can I have apple juice?" Liam's voice snaps me back. He's standing in the doorway, his dinosaur pajamas wrinkled from his afternoon nap. "In a minute, baby." My voice sounds strange, like it's coming from somewhere else. "Mommy has to work first." The notification came from an anonymous account. 3 clips, each worse than the last. The timestamp shows last night, when Dylan said he was working late at the restaurant. My phone buzzes. Hundreds of followers are already waiting in the stream lobby. I've never missed a session in 3 years. Never been late. Never let them see anything but perfect form, perfect energy, perfect smile. "Hey, squad," I hear myself say as I hit the live button. "Ready to crush it?" The comments flood in. Hearts and fire emojis fill the screen. They can't see how my sports bra is suffocating me, how the carefully arranged workout space feels like it's closing in. "Today, we're focusing on core strength," I continue, demonstrating the first position. Because everything starts from the center. My body moves through the familiar routine while my mind races. There's Dylan's sister Chloe in the background of one clip, her face lit up with that knowing smirk I've grown to hate. Of course she was there. She's always there when things go wrong. "Hold that plank! 10 more seconds!" I'm shouting encouragement, but inside I'm counting the hours until Dylan comes home, rehearsing what I'll say, what I'll do. The door chimes. That's odd. It's too early for Dylan. Through the studio's glass wall, I see his mother Vivian gliding in like she owns the place. She has a key, of course. She has everything. "Keep those cores engaged!" I call out, watching her approach. She's wearing that cream Chanel suit that probably costs more than my monthly income, carrying a shopping bag from some boutique I can't pronounce. "Skylar, dear," she interrupts, not caring that I'm live with hundreds of thousands watching. "We need to discuss the menu for Sunday's family dinner, and please, put on something more appropriate." The comments explode. My followers love drama, and Vivian never disappoints. "Almost done, Vivian," I say through my perfect smile. 5 more minutes. She settles onto my white leather couch, pristine legs crossed, watching me like a hawk studying its prey. She doesn't know yet that her perfect son, her golden boy, is about to become the family disappointment. Or does she? "Great work today, squad." I wrap up the session earlier than planned. Remember, strength isn't just physical, it's mental too. See you tomorrow. I end the stream and reach for my water bottle, but my hand is trembling so badly I almost drop it. "Really, Skylar?" Vivian sighs. "These internet exhibitions of yours, when will you find a proper occupation?" I turn to face her and suddenly I'm grateful for the video. Grateful for the truth it revealed. Because now I see everything clearly. The subtle digs, the constant criticism, the way she and Chloe exchange glances when I speak. "Actually, Vivian," I say, pulling up the video on my phone, "I think we need to discuss something else entirely." Her perfectly lined eyes narrow as I approach, and I feel something shift inside me. This isn't just about Dylan anymore. This is about all of them, and the carefully constructed cage they've built around me. Time to start breaking bars. Vivian's face doesn't change when I show her the video. Not even a flicker of surprise. She just takes another sip of the green tea she insisted I make her. Perfectly manicured nails clicking against the ceramic. "Really, dear? You can't possibly think this is what it appears to be." I lean against my desk, arms crossed. "What it appears to be is my husband shoving his tongue down some stranger's throat while your daughter watches. Dylan has always been demonstrative when he drinks." She waves her hand dismissively. "And that woman is hardly a stranger. She's an investor interested in expanding the restaurant." Of course, there's always an explanation, always a way to reshape reality until it fits their narrative. I've watched them do it for years. "Liam," I call out, hearing him shuffling in the hallway. "Time for your playdate with Marcus." "But Grandma just got here." "Now, sweetheart." My voice leaves no room for argument. I need him gone for this conversation. Vivian's eyes narrow as I grab my keys. The nanny could take him. I prefer to do it myself. Unlike you, I don't outsource my parenting. The drive to Marcus's house takes 12 minutes. 12 minutes of Liam chattering about dinosaurs while I rehearse what I'll say when I get back. 12 minutes of wondering how many other investors Dylan has been demonstrative with. When I return, Chloe's sleek Tesla is parked next to Vivian's Mercedes. Perfect. The whole circus is assembling. There you are? Chloe's voice hits me before I'm through the door. She's perched on my couch like she owns it, scrolling through her phone. We need to discuss the charity gala. The committee's counting on your influence. By influence, she means my followers. The same followers she mocked when I first started streaming. Funny how useful I've become since hitting 300,000. Actually, I say, pulling up my banking app, I'd like to discuss something else, like why Dylan transferred $50,000 to your husband's company last week. The temperature in the room drops 10 degrees. Chloe's phone slips from her fingers. You're monitoring your husband's transactions? Vivian's voice could freeze hell. How common? Common? I laugh, and it sounds foreign even to me. You want to talk about common? Let's talk about how Evan's company is 3 months from bankruptcy. Or how Chloe's been meeting with health inspectors who suddenly have concerns about Dylan's restaurant. Chloe stands up so fast her designer purse tumbles to the floor. You've been investigating us? No, I've been protecting my family, something you all claim to be experts at. Skylar. Vivian sets down her tea with deliberate care. You're upset clearly, but these wild accusations? Save it. I pull up another screen on my phone. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to tell me everything, the real everything, or tomorrow morning my followers get a very interesting story about the Golden family's business practices. You wouldn't dare! Chloe's voice shakes. Dylan would never what? Cheat? Lie? Steal from his own restaurant to bail out his brother-in-law? Vivian rises, straightening her jacket. Perhaps we should discuss this when you're feeling more rational. I've never been more rational. I move to block the door. But you're right about one thing. We should wait for Dylan. He'll be home in about, I check my watch, 20 minutes, unless he's being demonstrative with another investor. Chloe sinks back onto the couch, her perfect posture crumbling. You don't understand. Evan's company. We had no choice. There's always a choice. I think of Liam, of the life I thought I was building. And now you have another one. Start talking or I start posting. The silence stretches between us like a rubber band about to snap. Then Vivian does something I've never seen before. She laughs. Not her usual controlled chuckle, but a sharp, bitter sound. Well played, dear. She smooths her skirt, composure intact, but something different in her eyes. Perhaps you're more like us than we thought. No, I say, thinking of the woman I used to be, the one who believed in this family's perfect facade. I'm nothing like you, and that's exactly why you should be worried. Through the window, I see Dylan's car turning into the driveway. Showtime. Dylan walks into a house full of landmines. I can see it in his stride. That easy confidence of a man who thinks he's still in control. He loosens his tie, drops his keys in the ceramic bowl I made during that pottery class he mocked, and freezes when he sees our little family gathering. What's this? His smile flickers between confused and concerned. Everything okay? Show him, I tell Chloe. She just stares at her hands. Fine, I will. I play the video. The sound of kissing and laughter fills our living room. Dylan's face doesn't change. He's too practiced for that. But his knuckles whiten around the back of the chair he's gripping. Skylar, I can explain. Can you explain this too? I pull up the bank statements. 50,000 to Evan's company, another 30,000 last month to an account I can't trace. The restaurant's books showing profits while our personal account bleeds dry. He glances at Vivian, who sits like a statue, then at Chloe, who won't meet his eyes. The restaurant's going through some changes, he says carefully. Expansions require? Lies require more lies. I move closer, close enough to smell his cologne, different from this morning. Tell me, was she worth it? The investor you were so demonstrative with? Mother Chloe, could you give us a minute? They're staying. My voice cuts through his practiced charm. Whatever you have to say it in front of your conspirators. Vivian rises, smoothing her skirt. Perhaps we should all sit down. The steel in my voice surprises even me. Unless you want to explain to the police why you've been orchestrating health code violations at your son's restaurant. Chloe makes a small, choked sound. Dylan's facade cracks. What are you talking about? Ask your sister. I turn to Chloe. Tell him about the inspectors you've been meeting. Tell him how Evan's failing company needs a bailout and how convenient it would be if Dylan had to sell his restaurant to save it. The silence stretches like a rubber band about to snap. Then Dylan laughs, a hollow, desperate sound. This is ridiculous. Chloe would never. She already did. I pull out my phone again. I have photos, Dylan. Times, dates, names, everything. You had me followed? No, your sister's not as clever as she thinks. She uses the same coffee shop for all her meetings. The barista's one of my followers. Chloe jumps up. You bitch! You've ruined everything! I ruined everything? The laugh that escapes me doesn't sound like my voice. You tried to destroy your own brother's business. I turn to Dylan. You threw away our marriage for what? To save your sister's husband from bankruptcy? It's not that simple, Dylan starts, but Vivian cuts him off. Enough! She stands, her authority filling the room. Skylar, dear, you're obviously upset. Whatever you think you've discovered, I've discovered the truth. Finally. I move to the window, watching the sunset paint our perfect suburban street in shades of blood. And now you all have a choice to make. A choice? Dylan steps toward me, but I hold up my hand. Tomorrow morning, I'm going live to my followers. I can tell them about my cheating husband and his corrupt family. I let that hang in the air, watching their faces. Or we can negotiate. Negotiate? Vivian's voice could freeze hell. You would blackmail your own family? My family? Another laugh bubbles up. My family is Liam. The rest of you are just expensive lessons in trust. Dylan's facade finally shatters. What do you want? Everything. I turn to face them, feeling stronger than I have in years. The restaurant, full custody of Liam, and enough money to ensure he never needs anything from any of you. You can't, Chloe starts, but Dylan silences her with a look. And if we refuse? I pick up my phone, thumb hovering over the screen. Then I start typing. I wonder how many restaurants survive viral videos of their owners making out with investors, or health department investigations triggered by social media exposés. The room fills with the weight of unspoken threats and desperate calculations. I watch them, these people who thought they owned me, and feel nothing but cold clarity. You have until morning to decide. I head for the stairs. Don't worry about seeing yourselves out. You know where the door is. Behind me, I hear Vivian whisper, "What have you done, Dylan?" What indeed? Sleep doesn't come. At 3 a.m, I'm sitting cross-legged on my home studio floor, scrolling through years of social media posts. Happy family dinners, vacation photos, anniversary celebrations, a digital museum of lies. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. Meet me at Riverside Park, now, about Dylan's other accounts. I shouldn't go. Every instinct screams trap. But I'm already pulling on my running shoes when another text arrives. Bring cash if you want the full story. The park is empty except for a figure on a bench near the river. As I get closer, I recognize Evan's sharp profile in the pre-dawn light. Chloe's husband, the failed entrepreneur, looking considerably less polished than usual. You're either brave or stupid coming alone, he says without looking at me. Which one are you for being here? He laughs, a hollow sound. Desperate! Did you know Dylan's been sleeping with my wife? The world tilts sideways. What? While they were plotting to save my company. He pulls out a flask, takes a long drink. Funny thing about betrayal, it makes strange allies. Why should I believe you? Because I have proof. He holds up his phone. Bank statements, hotel receipts, text messages, the whole sordid story. How much? 20,000. Cash. I almost laugh. That's what your marriage is worth? My marriage was worth nothing the moment Chloe decided Dylan was a better bet than me. He finally looks at me, eyes red-rimmed. But revenge? That's priceless. I need to see proof first. He hands me his phone. The texts between Dylan and Chloe make my stomach turn. The hotel receipts span months. The bank transfers tell a story of systematic deception. Why now? I ask, handing back the phone. Why tell me? Because they're planning something bigger. The restaurant's just the beginning. They're going to... A car engine roars to life nearby. Headlights blind us. Evan jumps up, panic on his face. Shit! They followed me! He grabs my arm. Listen, there's a storage unit in... The shot cracks through the morning silence like breaking glass. Evan stumbles, red blooming across his chest. I run. Behind me, tires screech. I cut through the park's walking paths, my fitness routine finally proving useful for something besides Instagram. My phone's in my hand, already dialing. 911, what's your emergency? I make it home just as the sun rises, hands shaking so badly I can barely get the key in the lock. Inside, I find Dylan sitting in my studio, wearing yesterday's clothes. Rough morning run? His voice is casual, but his eyes are sharp. Where's Liam? Still asleep. You know, it's dangerous to run alone so early. Anything could happen. The threat hangs between us like smoke. My phone buzzes. A news alert about a shooting in Riverside Park. Male victim. Critical condition. I want a divorce, I say, surprised by how steady my voice sounds. No, you don't. He stands, straightening his wrinkled shirt. You want security, safety, a good life for Liam. I can still give you that. Like you gave Chloe? His face doesn't change, but something flickers in his eyes. You've been talking to Evan. Not anymore. We stare at each other across the room where I've filmed hundreds of workout videos, preaching transformation and inner strength. Now it's time to prove I meant it. Here's what's going to happen, I say, pulling out my phone. I'm going live in 30 minutes to my followers, but what I say depends entirely on what you do next. You're bluffing, I start the camera. Am I? Let's ask my followers what they think about attempted murder in Riverside Park. You have no proof. I have enough. I turn the camera to face him. And now I have your reaction too. Shall we continue this conversation live? His mask cracks, just for a second, showing something that looks like fear. Good. He should be afraid. Because now I know, this isn't just about a cheating husband or a failing restaurant. This is about survival. And I didn't build my empire by playing nice. Your move, Dylan. The hospital corridor stretches endless and white. Evan's in surgery, and I'm sitting here because someone needs to be. Not Chloe. She's too distraught to leave home. Right. My phone hasn't stopped buzzing. Messages from Dylan, from Vivian, from my followers wondering why today's workout stream is delayed. I silence them all. Mrs. Bennett? A detective approaches, notebook in hand. Can we talk about what brought you to Riverside Park this morning? Before I can answer, the elevator dings. Vivian emerges, immaculate as always, carrying a designer bag that probably costs more than most people's monthly rent. Skylar won't be answering any questions without legal representation. She sits beside me, crossing her legs. I've already called our family attorney. The detective eyes us both, then retreats. Smart man. I suppose you think you're being clever, Vivian says once we're alone. Meeting Evan like that. Clever would have been wearing a bulletproof vest. She opens her bag, removes a manila envelope. Let's discuss your future. My future involves putting your son in prison. No, she slides the envelope over. It doesn't. Inside you'll find divorce papers, very generous terms. Full custody of Liam, substantial alimony, and controlling interest in the restaurant. I don't touch it. And in exchange? You forget everything else you think you know. Delete any evidence you've collected. Sign a non-disclosure agreement. What about Evan? Evan made poor choices. Her voice could freeze hell. His shooting was clearly drug-related. The police report will reflect that. My laugh sounds hysterical even to me. You really think you can control everything, don't you? I protect my family. By having your daughter's husband shot? By doing what's necessary. She stands, smoothing her skirt. You have 24 hours to decide. After that, things become complicated. They're already complicated. I have proof of everything. The affair, the money laundering, the attempted murder. One post and it all burns down. And Liam grows up with both parents in prison. She pauses. Your choice. She leaves me there, the envelope burning a hole in my lap. My phone buzzes again. A text from an unknown number. A video attachment. It's security footage from the park. Me, meeting Evan. The shooting. But the angle. It makes it look like I'm involved. Like we planned something together. Another text. Shame if this reached the police. Or your followers. My hands shake as I open the envelope. The divorce papers are there, along with photos of Liam at school. Recent photos. Today's photos. A nurse appears. Mrs. Bennett? Your husband's here. Dylan walks in, looking nothing like the man who threatened me this morning. He's all concern and worry now, playing the devoted husband for the hospital staff. Baby, I've been so worried. He tries to hug me. I step back. Don't. The police have questions about Evan, he whispers. Mother says you need to be careful what you say. Or what? More accidents will happen? His face hardens for a split second before the mask returns. Think of Liam. Always Liam. Their perfect shield. My phone buzzes again. A message from Chloe. Evan's awake. He's changing his story. Says you tried to blackmail him. The walls start closing in. I can feel Vivian's web tightening. See the trap they've laid. If I fight, I lose everything. If I take the deal, I let them win. But maybe there's a third option. I pull out my phone, open my workout streaming app. 300,000 followers waiting for today's session. What are you doing? Dylan asks, worry creeping into his voice. Teaching a lesson about core strength. I hit the live button. And how to survive a snake pit. The red light blinks on. Comments start flooding in. Hey squad, I say, my voice steady. Today's workout is different. Today, we're going to talk about family and what happens when the people closest to you try to destroy you. Dylan lunges for my phone, but he's too late. The truth, like revenge, is best served to an audience. The live stream lasts exactly 6 minutes before security escorts me out of the hospital. Long enough. My phone explodes with notifications as the video spreads like wildfire. Family betrayal trends within hours. I'm in my lawyer's office when the first lawsuit arrives. Defamation, breach of contract, criminal conspiracy, the Bennett family machine moving at full speed. They've frozen your accounts, Marcus, my attorney, says. All of them. They can't. They did. Dylan's name is on everything. He slides over more papers. They're also filing for emergency custody of Liam. The room spins. On what grounds? Mental instability. They're using the live stream as evidence, plus the security footage from the park, suggesting you were involved in Evan's shooting. My phone rings. Vivian. I let it go to voicemail. What about the evidence I sent you? The bank records, the affair, disappeared. The accounts are scrubbed clean. Evan's changing his story, claiming you tried to extort him. Of course. They're erasing everything, just like they always do. My phone buzzes again. A text from Chloe. Liam's asking for you. Come home, admit you had a breakdown, and this can all go away. Home, where Dylan's probably already changed the locks. Where Vivian's probably coaching Liam about his unstable mother. Marcus, I need to get my son. Don't! He grabs my arm. That's exactly what they want. One wrong move and you'll never see him again. The walls close in. I can't breathe, can't think. My phone lights up with another message. An email from my fitness app provider. Account suspended pending investigation. They're taking everything. My son, my livelihood, my reputation. There's something else. Marcus says quietly. The police want to question you again about this morning. A knock at the office door makes us both jump. 2 detectives enter, faces grim. Mrs. Bennett, we need you to come with us. Am I under arrest? Just questioning, for now. The precinct is cold. The questions are colder. Where exactly did you meet Evan? What were you discussing? Why did you run instead of helping him? Can you explain these bank transfers to offshore accounts? Offshore accounts? They're planting evidence now. Hours pass. My phone's been confiscated. I have no idea where Liam is, what he's being told. Finally, they let me go, but the message is clear. One wrong move and the cuffs come out. Outside, it's dark. My credit cards don't work. My car's been repossessed. 300,000 followers, and I've never felt more alone. I walk 6 blocks to a cheap motel. Pay cash for a room that smells like old cigarettes and broken dreams. The TV's playing local news. There's Vivian, perfectly composed, speaking about her concern for her troubled daughter-in-law. There's Dylan, asking for privacy during this difficult time. My phone finally turns back on. Hundreds of messages, most from former followers. How could you lie to us? You're sick! Get help! Poor Liam, having a mother like that. The last message is from Dylan. I'll have Liam call you tomorrow, if you're calm. If I'm calm. If I play by their rules. If I admit I'm crazy, unstable, wrong. I open my workout app. Account suspended. My banking app. Access denied. My photo gallery. Wiped clean. They've taken everything except what's in my head. The truth I can't prove anymore. A notification pops up. Breaking news. Evan's awake, giving a statement. There he is, bruised but alive, calling me unstable, dangerous, a woman scorned, making up stories. I throw my phone against the wall. It cracks but doesn't break. Unlike me. In the bathroom mirror, I barely recognize myself. The strong, confident fitness instructor is gone, replaced by someone hollow-eyed and desperate. But in that desperation, something else flickers. Something cold and hard and certain. They think they've won. Think they've broken me. But they forgot one thing. I train people to rebuild themselves from nothing. Time to practice what I preach. The Sunday family dinner table has never felt more like a battlefield. Vivian's perfect china, her immaculate tablecloth, her carefully arranged flowers, all props in their final performance. More wine, Skylar? Dylan offers, playing the concerned husband. You seem tense. I'm fine. I check my phone under the table. The message from Marcus is clear. Everything's ready. Liam picks at his food between us, quiet in a way no 5-year-old should be. 2 weeks of limited supervised visits have taken their toll. Put the phone away, dear, Vivian commands. Family time is sacred. Family? I look around the table. Is that what we're calling this? Chloe shifts uncomfortably. Evan's empty chair speaks volumes. If you're going to be difficult, Vivian starts, but I cut her off. How's the restaurant doing, Dylan? Still laundering money through the wine inventory? His fork clatters against china. Liam jumps. Mommy! Liam, sweetheart, Vivian interrupts. Why don't you go play in the study? He stays. My voice could cut glass. He should hear what kind of family he's really part of. That's enough, Dylan stands. You're clearly still unwell. Unwell? I pull out my tablet. Let's talk about unwell. Let's talk about offshore accounts, fake health inspections, and attempted murder. Don't, Chloe whispers. Why not? Afraid Evan might remember the truth when he gets out of the hospital? You have no proof, Vivian says, but there's a tremor in her voice. I press play. The tablet projects onto the dining room wall, security footage from Dylan's restaurant. Him and Chloe definitely not discussing business. Bank statements, text messages, everything they thought they'd erased. Turns out your IT guy isn't as loyal as you thought. I turn to Chloe. Neither is your husband. You're bluffing, Dylan says, but his face has gone pale. The police have everything. So does the IRS, and the health department should hit the news any minute. Vivian's composure cracks. You stupid girl. You'll destroy this family. You did that yourself. I stand, moving to Liam. The difference is I'm doing it legally. Dylan lunges for my tablet, but I'm faster. It's too late. It's already uploaded. Everything. Chloe's phone chimes, then Dylan's, then Vivian's. Breaking news, I read from my own screen. Local restaurant chain under investigation for fraud. Owner Dylan Bennett and family members implicated in financial scandal. The perfect facade crumbles. Chloe bursts into tears. Dylan grabs his keys. Running won't help, I say. The police are outside. As if on cue, red and blue lights flash through the windows. You bitch, Vivian hisses. After everything we gave you. Gave me? I laugh. You took everything from me. My marriage, my reputation, my son. I kneel beside Liam. But you forgot something important. What's that? Dylan asks, desperate. I teach people how to rebuild themselves from nothing, every single day. I squeeze Liam's hand. And I recorded everything, every threat, every manipulation, every attempt to paint me as unstable. Sirens wail closer. The custody hearings tomorrow, I continue. My lawyers have everything, including evidence of how you coached Liam to lie about me. Dylan moves toward us. Skylar, please. Don't. I stand between him and Liam. It's over. The doorbell rings. Vivian's perfect dinner party dissolves into chaos as officers enter, reading rights, asking questions. Through it all, Liam holds my hand. Mommy? He whispers as they lead Dylan away. Are we going home? Yes, baby. I watch Vivian arguing with officers, Chloe sobbing into her phone. But not here. Never here again. Outside, reporters gather. Cameras flash. But for once, I don't care about the audience. Some workouts, I always told my followers. Destroy you before they make you stronger. Time to rebuild. The new apartment feels empty and full at the same time. Empty of pretense, of perfect facades, of suffocating expectations. full of possibility. Liam's dinosaurs march across his bedroom floor, the only room fully unpacked. He's sleeping now, exhausted from the move, from the changes, from everything. My phone buzzes with a news alert. Bennett family restaurant empire collapses amid fraud charges. I scroll through the article, past Dylan's mugshot, past Vivian's statement about family misunderstandings, past Chloe's tearful courthouse appearance. A knock at the door makes me freeze. Old habits. It's Evan, leaning on a cane. Can we talk? I let him in, keeping the door open. Trust is a luxury I can't afford anymore. Chloe signed the divorce papers, he says, lowering himself onto my only chair. She's turning state's evidence against Vivian. Smart move. Yeah. He fidgets with his cane. The DA offered me a deal too. Full immunity if I testify about the shooting. I wait, watching him struggle with whatever brought him here. I saved everything, he finally says. Every message, every transaction, every conversation. Started the day Chloe told me about Dylan's plan to force me out of my own company. He pulls out a thumb drive. Thought you might want copies. For insurance. Why? Because you were right. About all of it. And because... He glances at Liam's bedroom door. Some things shouldn't stay buried. After he leaves, I sit with the thumb drive, wondering if revenge ever really ends, or if it just changes shape. My laptop chimes. A notification from my fitness app. Account reinstated. Comments flood in. You're so brave! Thank you for showing us real strength. When's your next stream? I open my camera app, adjust the lighting. The woman in the preview looks different, stronger, scarred, but not broken. Hey squad, I say, hitting record. Today we're starting something new, a different kind of workout. We're going to talk about rebuilding, not just bodies, but lives. Comments pour in immediately. Hearts and fire emojis just like before, but different too. My phone buzzes. A text from Marcus. Custody hearing officially closed. Full custody granted. Dylan's visitation will be supervised. Another buzz. An email from a publisher. Interested in your story? A third buzz. A message from an unknown number. A photo of Vivian looking small and old, sitting alone in her perfect house. I delete it without responding. Liam appears in the doorway, clutching his favorite dinosaur. Mommy? Can we have pizza? Sure, baby. I close my laptop. Want to help me make it? From scratch? Like before? Like before. But better. Honest. Real. In the kitchen, teaching him to knead dough, I think about strength. Not the kind you measure in reps and sets, but the kind that lets you rebuild after everything falls apart. My phone buzzes one last time. A text from Chloe. I'm sorry. 2 words. Too late, too little, but something. I don't respond. Some workouts are finished when they're finished. Mommy, Liam says, covered in flour, can I put extra cheese on my half? As much as you want. He grins, and in that moment, I see it clearly. Revenge isn't about destroying your enemies. It's about refusing to let them destroy you. The sun sets outside our new windows, painting the unfamiliar walls with familiar light. Tomorrow I'll stream again, teach my followers about resilience and strength. Tomorrow there'll be more headlines, more court dates, more chapters to write. But tonight, there's just this. Flour on the counter, cheese on the floor, and my son's laughter echoing off empty walls that are finally, truly ours. Sometimes the best revenge is simply living well. And sometimes it's teaching others how to do the same.